Hi guys. One day before the new moon in Aquarius, so that's tomorrow. It's actually on 1 degree, not 0 degree, how I've been saying. And yeah, for people ruled by the moon, like myself, it's usually a day where the energy is quite low. It's when the moon is darkest, so it doesn't have much power. It's a time to set intention. It's not a good time to start things or be super active. So that's why I'm making this video today. So actually what I wanted to talk about, I think I already mentioned a lot of astrology around it. So I just want to talk about life. So let's talk about changes. As I said, I have a dear friend of mine in my life who is bringing a lot of teachings and observations into my life. And yeah, my life has been going through a lot of transformation in past few months that led me to this relocation and coming here. And a lot of changes have taken place that haven't necessarily been easy or comfortable. It's a process, obviously. And I just wanted to talk about how sometimes we are our own worst enemy, and our fear, shame, and feeling of guilt is actually what's stopping us from bringing changes into our reality. And these changes actually could be the best thing. Like when I first came here to Mexico from England, where I lived for almost 19 years, I definitely had a ego crisis because it's a completely different environment. All my structures and my definition of reality shifted, and despite the fact it was exactly what I wanted when I came here, I was quite overwhelmed and questioning myself whether it was the right choice that I made. And yeah, my first instinctual reaction was like, oh no, 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 let's go back, and let's go back to the familiar. And changes are not easy, but they are necessary. Life is not static. It's a constant movement. It's in a flow. And actually, when we do live with the flow and respond to situation rather than keep being attached to our old definition and to the past, pretty much, because everything that usually the circumstances that we are reliving are results of our past, or our past thinking or past experience. So when we let go of all this, actually brand new experiences, brand new people can enter our life that leads to new experiences that lead to our evolution, that actually leads to creation of something usually much better than the things we left behind. And change is necessary practically if like, that's my theory, okay, I own this one. But if we die exactly the same person as we were born, or who we were when we were teenagers, then I think we kind of failed at life, because life is not supposed to stay the same, stay kind of stale. It's supposed to be emotion. It's supposed to be about change, and it's the change doesn't come easy because our ego clings to the familiar, and it wants to control and predict the situations, which is why we usually use our old experiences for predicting current states and future experiences. But without changes, nothing would ever change. So pretty much all this new technology and all these new discoveries, everything that we have present in our life that wasn't there before, would not be here if the change never came, or there were not people that were willing to embrace the change. So this is observation that I'm making in my own life, how it's not necessarily easy to accept that I live in a completely different environment. I have to learn a new language. I have to start creating my own resources in a different way to the way I lived before. And it's been definitely, it came with challenges. And now I have much deeper understanding for people who were in my life, and when they exited my life, they were going through difficult situations, and I couldn't fully understand them. Now I have much deeper understanding of that experience, because even if our current experience doesn't serve us and we want to bring changes, it doesn't mean that they're going to come easily, and the ego is just going to be all happy about, yeah, sure, let's just ditch everything and go straight ahead into a brand new experience and be happy about it. It doesn't always happen like that. So yeah, practically that's where I'm at, and I know that this new moon in Aquarius, which actually is going to conjunct my ascendant, square my Pluto and my Sun, it's definitely bringing some new energies into my life, and I'm sure it's in everyone's life because this is a very potent energy. And the Pluto in Aquarius transit, which is going to be present for 20 years, it's going to bring huge changes into individual and collective. So the life as we know it will completely transform. And also, Saturn has been transiting the sign of Aquarius for a while now. It's going to be exiting it in March and moving into sign of Pisces. So that again will be a completely different energy. Uranus stationing to go direct on Sunday, and after that, as mentioned in my previous video, all the planets will be going direct. So there will be these new energies which will be wanting to be expressed, and what are we going to do about them? So changes are coming whether we like it or not, and it's always easier to just accept it and just go with the flow, because from my own personal experience, looking back on my life, every time that some very transformative situation happened and huge changes were implemented in my life, when I look back at those circumstances, it was a blessing every time, every single time. I'm not saying this is for everyone, but I'm sure a lot of people will resonate with this, that if something huge transformative changes eventually, when we look back at time, it brought positive transformations and positive shifts that led us to a better life that is much more in alignment with who we are. Because sometimes we get so stuck in a comfort zone and we don't want to come out of it, despite the fact that it's probably very toxic and not for our highest good. It doesn't serve us anymore. We still clinging on to it because it's the familiar, and it's the fear of unknown, which like we discussed last time, is not actually fear of unknown, it's the fear of known, because we are just projecting our known experience onto something we think that might repeat itself. But in any case, we just get stuck in a situations, and sometimes to our detriment, until life pushes us, because we signed up for this. Being here on this planet at this time is not a coincidence. Every single person being on a planet alive today has signed up for this. So it's time to take responsibility and own it, and then we can change it. Obviously we are here, and let's just make the best out of it. The times are changing. There is no stopping that, and let's just go with it and see how best we can use this energy, how best we can apply it to our life and manifest the things that we really want in our life. The planets are definitely supporting these changes and this evolutionary path. So it's just up to us, really. And I can see from my personal experience that when I actually now let go the need for control, the need to plan and structure and have expectations, things are actually turning out much better than I could have ever dreamed of. But because our reality is limited by our perception and our experience, we don't know what we don't know. We only know what we know. Therefore, we can't think of every possibility, every potential that's out there, and the potentials are unlimited. But every time we make a decision and we label a situation, we are limiting ourselves from all the other possibilities that are available out there in a quantum, because the universe is unlimited. So that's why I'm now in a process of actually trying to completely restructure the way I think or the way I live my life. Whereas before it would all be structured, that I was trying to make plans and have expectations about my experience. Now I'm learning to let go of all that and just literally respond to life as life happens. Obviously, I do have my dreams and my aspirations and wishes I'm putting out there and want to manifest, bring into reality, but I'm not going to define them exactly and put them in a box, which would limit the experience and stop other things flowing into my life. And I'm just open to life. Whatever wants to come in will come in. I respond to it at the time when that happens, and sometimes that brings the best results, actually. So I know there is a lot of people. A lot of people are feeling these upcoming changes. Many people are awake and aware that there are shifts and there is change imminent in the atmosphere, in the air around us. We all tapping into it. We are all part of the collective, of the human collective, and we connected to one another whether we like it or not, and we can feel it. We can feel that there is something coming, the changes are coming, the times are changing, the shifts are being implemented, and I think this is really the time, this is the opportunity with this new moon in Aquarius, as discussed before, is making a lot of aspects to Mercury and Jupiter, and actually it's still within the degree conjunction of the Pluto. So it's all about the transformation, all about the way we're thinking about the reality, the truth that we tell ourselves, all the lies that we tell ourselves, as mentioned before. And it's an invitation. It's an invitation to really start anew, to make this year the year that we want to become our true self, our true authentic self, and actually live the life in the way that we want, on our own terms. Take responsibility for the choices, and have compassion for ourselves and others, because we really are in all this together. Like, our experience is individual in our own reality that we project out there and that we can see mirrored back to us, but it's all a collective experience. Therefore, we really are in this together. There is no escaping it. We all on the same planet at the end of the day, and we are all connected, and it's important to really have compassion for ourselves and others, and just accept where we at. And as I said in my previous video, acceptance is the first step towards change, because if we can't accept where we at, then how can we change it? So I think this is the message. This is what I wanted to bring out, because of the new moon coming tomorrow, and as mentioned before, the planets are going to go direct as of 22nd of January, which is a perfect opportunity for new things and new actions to be taken, new thoughts pattern to be implemented, new belief systems, new truths, new perceptions of reality, perhaps need to travel, take a course, expand our mind, do something different, do it in a different way, or perhaps just a need to purge anything and anyone from our life doesn't serve us anymore. Universe always fills the empty space. There is not vacuum in the universe, and every time that we clear a space, that we let go of relationships that doesn't serve us anymore, or work, job, or anything, universe fills it with the new opportunities. And the more we grow and evolve, the more the things that are brought into our lives are in alignment with who we really are. I'm sure many people can recognize that the people that they meet in their life as they go on their path and become more aligned with their true selves, are more in alignment with who they feel they are more in resonance. We are not stuck in anything. We always have a choice in every situation. Nothing is ever set in a stone, and we always can change everything we want. We're never a victim of circumstances, and every day brings a brand new opportunity to start all over again, to change things. And new moons usually invite us to do that, not to make the changes straight away, but to sow the seeds, to put the intention out there for these changes to have time to take the roots and sprout and bloom. So tomorrow is a perfect opportunity. It's the opportunity to put the intentions out there, think about what we want to create. Obviously, we are still in January, so the energy is still present from the winter solstice and then from the New Year's resolutions. And this is the opportunity to actually really dedicate ourselves to these new intentions and to start creating the reality that we want for ourselves. So yeah, we are never stuck. The changes are always available. The changes are coming. The energy is present, and the time is never going to stop. It's always going to go forward. Therefore, life is always going to be fluid, and there'll be new opportunities coming, new energies, and this is where we at the collective. There are a lot of shifts happening this year. As I mentioned, Pluto will change the sign, even briefly, but still it's a huge thing. Saturn will change the sign, it will go into Pisces. Jupiter will move into Taurus, where it will remain until next year. That's going to be huge. And also the nodes, the karmic points, the nodes of the moon, they will change the signs from Taurus, Scorpio axis into Aries, Libra axis. So it will be all about what do I want? Not necessarily in a selfish way, but in a introspective way, in a self-aware way. Because if our cup is empty, we cannot really be here for anyone else. And it's not being selfish, it's called self-care. Gone is the time of Pisces, the age of Pisces, the time of martyrdom and sacrifice, and the axis of Virgo Pisces axis, to be just a servant and sacrifice yourself. Like we have to serve ourselves first and foremost, in a sense that we always have to put ourselves first. And then once we take care of our own needs and don't expect other people to do it for us, then we can be there for others. We can help, we can support others. But if our cup is empty, how can we do that? So this is again an invitation to recognize that that planet of Venus is still in Aquarius. So what individual needs we have that we are perhaps still projecting onto others, wanting others to fulfill for us, and then creating resentment when they are not being met. So this is an invitation to recognize what they are and how can we do it for ourselves. We will never be fully independent, but it's important to be interdependent. Nobody can ever provide everything for oneself. Like, I mean, how many of us grow our own food? But it's important to know what these needs are and how can we meet them. So there is a lot happening, there is a lot unpacking, and this new moon in Aquarius happening tomorrow on the 1 degree. One is all about new beginnings, is definitely a true start of a new energy that will be present for the entire year. And with the Pluto in Aquarius for the next 20 years, it will be a huge transformation. So gone are the times where the responsibility has been passed on to someone else. It's the time to take the responsibility into our own hands and start making choices that represent who we really are and what we really want, what we want to create in this world. So here we are, guys. Enjoy the new moon. Have a nice time. Do some spiritual practice that helps you to reconnect with yourself, and realize what these things are that you want to bring into manifestation. And all the best, good wishes for everyone, sending everyone much love, and have a fantastic weekend. Okay, bye for now.